Hello, you're watching Popping Tea English. Yeah, I'm getting into the screen. For Dawn's purposes, I don't really need to wear this long sleeves. Short sleeves is better. Too much sweat. But I'm wearing this for a costume purpose, okay? So we'll do TOEFL Math, Listening, Intermediate, Taragon Publishing Company. And today, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do chapter 4, B3, which is page 92, okay? So you're gonna listen to the passage first.
Listen to part of the lecture in a business class.
Sometimes a company encounters serious trouble. When this occurs, it goes into what we call crisis management mode. So the firm takes certain steps to control the crisis before it gets out of hand. Some of these steps include dealing with the press, handling upset customers, and taking steps to prevent a similar situation from happening in the future.
What kinds of situations could cause a company to react that way?
Good question. One example is a product recall.
But those happen all the time.
Okay, what are we talking about here? We're talking about company getting into crisis management mode, okay? What does the company try to do when such cases occur? They try to control it before it gets out of hand, all right? And the professor introduces the three steps, which is dealing with the press, handling upset customers, and taking steps to prevent a similar situation from happening in the future, okay? So what kind of situation could cause a company to react that way? That was one example was a product recall, okay? So we're gonna start. Sometimes a company encounters serious trouble. Encounter, what does that mean? Encounter means meet something unexpectedly, alright? When this occurs, It goes into what we call crisis management mode. When this occurs, what does that mean, occur? Occur means happen. Okay? It goes into what we call crisis management mode. Crisis, what is this? Crisis is a very serious situation. Management mode. What does management mean? Management means controlling and organizing a business or another organization. Crisis management mode. What is mode? Mode is a particular way of behaving, okay? So the firm takes certain steps to control the crisis before it gets out of hand. So the firm, what's a firm? Firm is like a company, okay? An organization which produces and sells products in a large quantity, okay? Or provide services and get money for that. To control the crisis before it gets out of hand. What does that mean, get out of hand? It means to get out of control. You're no longer able to control. Some of these steps include dealing with the press, handling upset customers, and taking steps to prevent a similar situation from happening in the future. Some of these steps include, what does that mean, include? Include means have something as its part. Dealing with the press. What does that mean, deal with? If you deal with something, you try to solve a problem or carry out that. Okay, do that. All right. Deal with the press. What is press? Press is newspaper. Do you understand? The reason why we call newspaper press is that press is the machine that produces newspapers. Why is it called a press? Because they have letters on it, and you put ink and you stamp it on a piece of paper. Okay, so it's called the press. Handling upset customers. What does that mean, handle? Handle means to deal with something with your hand. Okay. Use or control something is handling. Upset customers. What does that mean, upset? Upset means unhappy or disappointed. Customers. What's a customer? Customer is a person who buys goods or services from a shop and taking steps to prevent a similar situation. Prevent. What does that mean? Stop something from happening, okay? A similar situation. What does similar mean? Similar means having the same characteristic, okay? So it looks, it is somewhat same, not completely same. Similar situation. What is a situation? Situation is something happening, all right? In a particular place or at a particular time. What kinds of situations could cause a company to react that way? What kinds of situations could cause, what does cause mean? Cause means make something happen, okay? Cause a company to react that way. What does react mean? React means to behave in a particular way because of something, all right? Good question. One example is a product recall. What's a product? Product is something that is produced in large quantities, okay, and sold in large quantities, all right? Usually by the manufacturing process, okay? Product recall. What does that mean, recall? Recall is the process when they when the company asks the shops or its customers to return the products because there is something wrong with that product, all right? But those happen all the time. Let's go to the next part.
But those happen all the time.
True. In the auto industry, they happen virtually every year. And notice how well the companies handle the recalls. In general, I mean. Most auto companies have definitely mastered crisis management. However, disasters can also cause a company to go into crisis management mode. In 1988, for instance, a terrorist bomb destroyed a Pan Am airliner. Hundreds of people died. Also, in 1989, an Exxon oil tanker ran aground in Alaska. This caused an enormous amount of damage to the environment. And in 1982, 7 people in the Chicago area died when they took Tylenol that someone had laced with poison.
Okay. What is this part about? This part is about an example of product recall. Okay, it happens in the auto industry, and most of these auto companies deal successfully with these crises. Okay, and what else is the professor talking about? There are cases when disasters cause a company to go into crisis management mode, and there were 3 examples, 3 instances. Okay, a terrorist bomb destroying a Pan Am airliner. Okay, and the other case was Exxon oil tanker ran aground in Alaska, and the last one was people in the Chicago area died when they took Tylenol that someone had laced with poison. Okay, so let's look into this. Okay, true, in the auto industry they happen virtually every year. In the auto industry, what does auto mean? Auto means moving by itself. Auto means automobile, okay? Automobile is a car, okay? Auto means moving by itself. Mobile means it moves, something that moves. In the auto industry, what is an industry? Industry is a field of producing a product or providing services, certain services. The whole field of that is industry. They happen virtually every year. What does virtual mean? Virtual means it's so nearly true that in most purposes or in most cases it can be considered as true or real. Okay? They happen virtually every year means nearly every year. And notice how well the companies handle the recalls. And notice, what does that mean, notice? Notice means know, be aware of, okay? How well the companies handle the recalls. In general, I mean. In general, what does that mean? When we talk of a situation as a whole, not very concerned with the details. That's in general, okay? Most auto companies have definitely mastered crisis management. Most auto companies have definitely, what does that mean? Definite means firm and clear, okay?